So Google AI Studio, which is one of my favorite tools, just got a massive upgrade. And I think this is the biggest one since they introduced the whole wipe coding experience in it. So let me do a quick overview of what's new. And of course, I will demo each one of them. Number one, it is the big one, which is Firebase integration. The agent can now automatically detect when your app needs a database or authentication. And once you approve it, it provisions Cloud Firestore and Firebase Auth for you completely automatically. The agent actually uses a dedicated tool called Setup Firebase. It creates the project, generates the config file, writes the security rules, and wires up Google sign-in all from one single prompt. So you are going from prompt to full stack app without ever touching the Firebase console. We will look into it once we are getting into the demo. Number two, multiplayer. You can now build real-time multiplayer experiences directly in AI Studio. We're talking collaborative workspaces, shared tools, even multiplayer games where multiple users are interacting at the same time. The server-side runtime manages all the state and the connections for you. So it handles the real-time syncing, and you can test it by just opening multiple tabs in the build mode or by sharing the app URL with other people. Again, we'll get into this in the demo. Number three, it's the secrets manager. So there's a new section in the settings tab where you can securely store your API keys. And the agent actually detects when your app needs a key and prompts you to actually add it. So now you can connect to real services, Google Maps, Stripe, any external API, and the keys are stored on the server side and are never exposed in your client code. And this also supports OAuth setup. So there's an integrations tab in the settings panel with callback URLs for connecting to third-party apps. Number four, NPM Packages. The agent now has access to the entire NPM ecosystem. If you ask for smooth animations, it installs Framer Motion. If you want professional icons, it pulls up the right library. You don't have to run NPM install yourself. The agent will figure it out and will handle it for you. And this is also powered by a new server-side Node.js runtime. So AI Studio apps are no longer just client-side prototypes, they actually have a real backend now. Number five is Next.js. In addition to React and Angular, you can now build with Next.js out of the box. You just go to the settings panel and select your framework. And for enterprise teams, I think this is a very big deal because Next.js is what most production React apps are built on today. So this signals that Google is serious about production-grade apps in AI Studio and not just limited to prototyping. Number six is session persistence. This one is a simple but important one. You can now close the browser tab, come back later, even on a different device, and your app remembers exactly where you left off. Your code, your data, everything is persistent. And number seven, a critical one, the anti-gravity coding agent is now powering the entire build mode experience. So the agent maintains a deeper understanding of your entire project structure and your chat history, which means faster iteration and more precise multi-step code edits. It actually runs in a Linux container on Cloud Run. It uses tools like view file, edit file, lint applet, compile applet. So it's not just generating code snippets, it's actually building your app in a real environment. So you're basically getting the anti-gravity brain inside the AI Studio browser experience. And oh, there's one more thing that I think is important to mention. They're sunsetting Firebase Studio. So if you have been using Firebase Studio, everything is moving to AI Studio and anti-gravity. The deadline is March 2027. So that was the overview. Let me now get inside AI Studio and show a lot of this in action. I've got three fantastic demos for you today, and we'll see all of this in action in that. A quick disclaimer, all opinions are my own and do not belong to my employer. All right, let's get into it. All right, so now I am in the updated version of Google AI Studio's build section, and you can already see a little subtle, beautiful animation here. But the key thing for you to note is they have added this database and auth right here, which is one of the most important ones in my opinion as a new update. And if you click on this, you can also see that they've added different frameworks. You can see the Next.js right here. You also have the capability to go ahead and connect it to different cloud projects. So you have this drop down over here, and you can also create a new key as well. So we will look into all of those things. But first thing I want to do is I want actually to create an app. So let's say that I want to create an app which is like a stock watch list, but I am telling it ahead of time that I want a Google sign in. Users should be able to add tickers to their watch list, show each stock as a card with a ticker, etc. It should have a sparkling chart, and then the UI should be beautiful, etc. Right. So now I'm going to add that. Make sure that you add the database and auth, and then go right. So it is going to start building, and I wanted to show you that here is my Firebase, and you can see that I have no projects whatsoever currently in my Firebase console. So I just refreshed it. So what I want to show you is how this will automatically create everything from scratch. The way it is going to tie to the Firebase project is based on your user ID. So if I've logged in from suryakunju1@gmail.com, and that's the login here as well. And that is how it should be able to tie in. As you were speaking, it has actually started to asking store data from this. So I'm going to click on enable. So I do have the capability to also select if I want to change the location. So right now I'm just going to keep it as is. And here I'm just going to click on enable. And what it is going to do is it is going to accept the terms and conditions on our behalf because we just asked it to enable it. And it is going to create a project here, right? Again, as someone in AI Studio wanting to build a Firebase authentication and authorization and all of that, I now do not have to go to Firebase at all. The only reason I've opened this is to show you that it is able to automatically create all of those things for us in the Firebase side of the house. So we'll give it a few minutes for it to start building. And then as it makes some significant progress, I'll keep coming back and showing you what it has done so far. So you can see it has started writing the code and it has yet to create the Firebase project. And there you go. I think it has done its job, or it has started creating some of the elements of Firebase. So we can also refresh this and we will see in real time. So you're able to see that it has created this particular project, which was not existing before. So this is brand new and this is very powerful, where it is able to create the backend for you just automatically, just by a single prompt. So again, I'll let it continue to run the code, and I'll come back once it has completed developing this. And we'll also then go back to the actual Firebase project and see what all things it has created so that we can fully understand what we got. All right, looks like it has done its job, and you can see the number of files that it has written. Let's click on the preview and see what the app is. So this is the first time I'm looking at the app as well. You can see the first thing it has done is it has added the Google login. So let's click on this. And here I'm going to select my login, and I'm allowing it to run. So there you go. Now, it is logged in, and we can see in full screen. So I'm able to also like add a stock. So let's say that I want to add Google, and then, here, so you can see that it has added the Google stock as well. Maybe the Google stock was already there. It looks like it is not taking the most updated data. So again, we can go ahead and ask it to take the most updated data. But then the idea here was to show you that the login and everything just works. Now let's go to Firebase and see what they have done here. If I go to settings and I click on general, this is where number one, let's see the users. So you can see that I just logged in. So this becomes a user. I can step out here. And then let's say that I took a different email address. So let's say that I took this email address and went to it. So this should be a different email address. So now I have logged in as a different user. And in order for me to check that, let me go to authentication. And you're able to see that this is the other email address that I have logged in. So the first one that I was actually showing in general is where it tells me who is the owner. So obviously this is the one who's the owner. But if you look at all of these different services, right? So it has enabled the NoSQL service here, which is also created like the backend database as well. So all of these services were actually enabled by it. You can see from a security perspective, it has added the authentication. It has added the Google sign-in, which is enabled as well. All of these things it was able to do just out of the box, right? Which is pretty cool, because if you look at it, you won't be able to realize that it did all of these things very quickly. Another thing that you can see here is the applet JSON file, and it basically tells you which particular project ID and what is the API key, etc., that has been used, and what is the Firestore database ID, etc., that has been used. Of course, I'm going to delete the API key, etc., after the demo, but this is how you're able to find out what the tool has actually built. Now, once you're done with this, you are able to either publish it directly on the web. So this will actually publish your app on Google Cloud Run. But if you just want to share you're actually able to type the email address and you're able to share as full screen, and you can copy the link and anybody will be able to open it, whoever has access, and they should also be able to log in because you have given the Google sign on as well. So that was one of the core updates that I wanted to share. Now let's get into a few of the other ones which are very interesting as well. All right, so that was the Firebase integration. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you how you can connect to a real world service using the new secrets manager. So let me build a quick travel planner. So here is the prompt that I'm going to give. Build a travel trip planner where I can search for any city and choose a popular tourist on a Google map platform with markers. So what it should do actually is it should detect whether a secret API key is required or not. And if it is required, then it will now guide us to add the secret key in a secret key location. This is again a new update that we have got in AI Studio, and you should be able to see this live, right? And this is Google Maps as an example, but you can connect to any of the services which require you to have an API access directly with this. So we'll give it a few seconds for it to do the initial build, and then we'll come back and show you how to store the secret key in that. If I would have connected to my cloud project here, and if my cloud project already had the Maps API enabled, then it would automatically get that key. But because now I'm currently using the free tier, it doesn't really have that API key, right? It will therefore ask me to provide that key while it is in the process of building. So again, we'll see that in a second, but I just wanted to make sure you understand how it makes that connection back to your Google Cloud project. All right, so as suspected, it is now asking me to enter the API key. So I'm going to get the API key here from my Google Cloud platform. So I've enabled the Maps embedding and I do have the key. So I'm just going to select and copy the key from here. So I've copied the key, and here is where in the settings option, you see the secrets. It tells me to type this particular as the name. So let's just go back here in the secrets and then add this as the name. And I have added the secret key over here, right? So as soon as I add this key over here and apply changes, you can see that I have this. All right, so now let's look for Austin. So as soon as I type in, you can see just like Google Maps, it's showing it. And you can see the beautiful description and display here. You can zoom in and stuff like that. And this is the entire Google Maps enabled, right? So we were able to do this very quickly. And again, the core idea that I'm trying to communicate over here is the secrets piece, right? So you're able to continuously add multiple secrets. And that way now the Google AI Studio is able to handle external applications as well. In this case, we used Maps, but you could use Stripe and other applications as well. So these are the two demos I thought are going to be super critical. But you can go into AI Studio and you can see that there are a lot of these additional demos that they have shown. So they have this cosmic flow. They also have this multiplayer one. So you can actually go ahead and join and you can see that you're able to play this. So the idea here is there are like multiple players that can play this and you're able to now build this. Again, there's another one, which is like a laser tag kind of thing. You can see that there are different players who are able to join as well. So really strong update from the Google AI Studio team. You saw the most critical ones in action. The key takeaway really here is AI Studio should not be considered as just a prototype tool. It can actually build the backend very easily. You are able to publish it and run it in Google Cloud Run and other services. And you're also able to connect it with a third-party external services as well. So this is now really moving from a prototype generation application to a production-ready application builder using the web browser experience. So that was really what I wanted to show you today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something here. If you have any questions, obviously, please let me know in the comment section. And if you're new here, please do hit that subscribe button. I keep uploading these interesting videos, and hopefully this is going to be helpful in your learning journey. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.